before public comment. So there is the language for that motion is in front, but would entertain a motion to amend the agenda to insert that executive session.
I would accept it.
Okay.
Second.
Roll on that one, please.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
Trustee Brungart,
Yes.
Trustee Jolly, Trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
Trustee Winslow, Trustee Shearer,
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes. Do we have any other proposed amendments to the agenda as amended? Okay.
For once, I do.
Then
Please
would
mark that down.
Then would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as it's been amended.
So move.
Second.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
Trustee Brungart,
Yes.
Trustee Jolly, Trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
Trustee Winslow, yes, Trustee Shearer,
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes. Great. We are moving right along. Then with that, and with the language that's in front, if someone would like to move us into executive session. Oh, I'm
Let's-
sorry. We said that.
yeah.
I knew that. Okay, first we have recognitions and I'll turn it over to Dr. Kroll for that.
Okay, thank you. We have some fun recognitions and I'm going to sit in front of my microphone rather than stand. I apologize for that, but that way people can hear me. So first of all, we have Phi Beta Lambda. We want to recognize Phi Beta Lambda students for their success at state competition. And it was 2 weekends ago at Emporia State, or has it's been longer ago than that? Yeah, it's been a while ago, right? And so I want to tell you the students that placed at nationals, or I mean at state, because if they placed in the top first, second, or third place, then they get to go to national conference in June in Chicago.
Wow.
So Tyler Joyce placed first in client service, second in small business management plan, and sports management and marketing. So if you guys, I know Sophie's here. Caleb, okay, good deal. So I was just gonna say, so Sophie, you raise your hand now so we can see you. And I've got certificates here, so I'll hand these off. Sophie placed second in business communication, first in business ethics, and first in emerging business issues. So she did a great job too. Naomi Galindo placed second in website design. Cody Custine placed third in administrative support technology. Eric Torres placed third in computer concepts and help desk. And then Caleb, who's here, was third in desktop publishing, second in help desk, second in impromptu speaking. And Caleb is also the 22-23 Phi Beta Lambda state president. So
Woo.
congratulations. And then I also want to recognize Janice Cow and Dr. Noreen Templin because they are the co-advisors of this amazing group of students. Now, we have folks headed to Chicago, right? That'll be exciting and fun. So I'll let you get those distinguished students. Congratulations, you guys. What are you doing when you finish at Butler?
I'm hopefully gonna continue on, get my bachelor's degree.
Good deal.
Wonderful.
Wichita State, Emporia State, or
I'm
you don't know?
thinking about possibly Western Governors University.
Good for you.
Where's it?
It's online.
Oh, okay.
Based out of Utah, I think.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
I'd like to transfer to Florida State University in fall and study human resources management. That's something that we-
Grab a mic.
Yeah, get a microphone so we know.
The day
After. Oh, I have to press that.
The day after I get back from Chicago with Phi Beta Lambda, I'll be hopping on a plane to go to Boston for the summer. It's kind of like an RA position in residential life at Berklee College of Music.
Ah.
So I'll get to go spend the summer, just a month, but a month in Boston is a month in Boston.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm really excited.
that's great.
being here.
from an old FBLA sponsor who got to go to San Francisco and a couple of other places with high school kids. Congratulations.
Thank
It's a
you.
big accomplishment.
I also want to, I don't see Dr. West here, but we've got some of his students here. So you guys are stuck back there in the back row, but
Stand up.
we had some wonderful accomplishment. Our students with Dr. Keith West just finished up at the 2022 Kansas Association of Broadcasters Student Broadcast Award winners. And so that was on the 8th of March. And Dr. West writes that 10 Butler students received 15 awards for radio and television programming created over the past year. In Kansas, all of the 2-year and the 4-year programs compete together and compete against each other. Butler received 7 times as many awards as all the other 2-year colleges combined. And ranked second in the state compared to the undergraduate awards received by the 4-year universities. Over the 25 years, the KAB has sponsored a student production competition. Get this. Butler's received 104 first place awards, 86 second place awards, and 98 honorable mentions for a total of 292 awards. So these colleagues are among a great history and a great group of students long-term that have been really successful. And so let me tell you the awards that our students won. And did you guys just get back from a luncheon at KU? I think they just had a KU luncheon maybe last week where they handed out awards, right? Yeah. Okay. So the first and second place winners receive custom plaques, while those receiving an honorable mention take home framed certificates. So tell me who you are, and I'll announce you guys first. Okay. Okay. So Braden, where are you? Braden from Fredonia, Kansas, right? Braden took first place in television research paper, and the title of that was Max Kellerman. Placed second place in radio sportscast, sports update, and then honorable mention in radio sports play-by-play for the Butler versus Dodge City game. And let's see, where are you? Tell me your name again. There we are. I found you. Holman, is that right? Yeah. From Newton. So Adrian placed first in Radio Complete Sports Feature, did a feature on Coach Veneri. Second place in Radio Complete Newscast, 3 days a week or less. 3 days a week or less. KBTL News Update that was done in January. And then second place in Television Research Paper, did it on Joe Rogan. So congratulations, you guys.
Way to go.
Let me run down through the list. I know we have Slade here. Slade from South Haven, Kansas. Wave your hand, Slade. First place in radio 60-second commercial PSA, and the title of that was Spot Adobe. Second place in radio enterprise news package, Butler Design Fest coverage. Second place in television 60-second commercial PSA, Butler Construction. And then honorable mention in television research paper, KWCH Channel 12 Media. So congratulations.
Wow.
Andrew, all right. Andrew's from Towanda. Second place in Radio Best Podcast, Keeping Up with Jonesy. So we get to recognize them. And let me tell you about the rest of the students here. Brock Brown from Park City, first place in Radio Complete Newscast, 3 days a week or less, a KBTL News Update. Kylie Chain from Wichita was second place with a Radio Complete Newscast, 3 days a week with a KBTL News Update. Hayden Cole from Kansas City, Kansas received an honorable mention, Radio Entertainment Program, and the title of that was Open Door Policy. Aiden Harper from Winfield placed second, Radio Sports Play-by-Play for the Butler men's basketball versus Cloud game. Holly Lamb from Wichita, Kansas placed first, Radio Complete Newscast, 3 days a week or less for a KBTL News Update. Dylan Whittorf from Mays, Kansas, placed second radio station promotion announcement, and the title of that was Grizzly Overlords. So here's the count. 2022 undergraduate awards medal count. K-State beat us 37, and then Butler came in next. Yeah, and so West is the advisor, and again, does a phenomenal job. I told him before you, from the narrative that you sent me, Dr. West, that this program has earned a total of 292 awards in its history. So a great legacy. Yeah, and if you go over into the area where they are, those awards are
All over.
all over the place. They're in the trophy case and on the walls, and it's really phenomenal. So thank you guys. Congratulations. If you're second year student and graduating and headed off to do something else. So
I'm a first year.
okay.
This year I'm freshman, so I'm trying to still kind of weigh my options and where I'm going to go after Butler, but maybe K-State, maybe Northwestern Missouri, something like that.
To continue mass communication, sports media.
Good for you.
So
I'm a first year student also, and I'm thinking about pursuing either teaching or journalism in my future. Not sure where I want to go, but either one of those would be great options.
Slade, how about you?
I am currently
Linda, can they borrow yours?
you know,
Here we go. You can hold that one. Okay. So we recently at the KB, I talked to My Town Radio, and I'm currently trying to get a job interview over with how they do things. I'm a second year student, and that is currently my plan right now.
I'm AJ, and I'm a second year student. I'll be graduating this spring. So I'm actually headed off to auctioneer school this summer. So hopefully I can do something with that. So I'm excited.
Did you run for your first political office too?
I did. In the fall. I did, but we'll get them next time.
Thanks for being here, guys. Congratulations. We're really proud of, both the PBL students and you folks and Phi Theta Kappa. You're great representatives for the college, so proud of you. Let me tell you about the Phi Theta Kappa Awards now. First of all, I don't know, do we have Danny online? Did she connect? Yeah,
I'm here.
Okay, good. We're glad you're with us, Danny. Danny's going to the University of Missouri right now, so she graduated in December. I want to introduce to you our all Kansas academic scholars. Butler has the opportunity each year to choose at least 4 academic scholars, 2 from the El Dorado campus, 2 from Andover. And we also now have an opportunity as Phi Theta Kappa chapters and colleges to choose students who are studying in career and technical college pathways. And we didn't have any students this year that applied for the scholarship or for the recognition in that way. But when I announce your names, stand up for me, will you please? We have Misha Katandi. We have Hayden Jansen. We have Falk Nugent. And we have Danny. Danny's online with us. Danny, there you are, Danny. We see your happy face. So these folks got to join us 2 weeks ago in Junction City for recognition. It's an annual recognition that Phi Theta Kappa does. And it's a great honor to be able to recognize the students and celebrate with the students and their families and just say congratulations for being great scholars. So we have certificates for you, so I'll hand these out here in just a second. I also want to tell you just a little bit about the Phi Theta Kappa awards that our chapter Alpha, Phi Alpha received just last weekend. Really, most of them were last weekend at Catalyst, I guess is what you call it. So the 2022 regional awards, Brent Tersall from our chapter was first, received an Achievement in Literature Award for creative work. Good job, Brent. We had 2 Achievement in Art Award from a photography entry. First was Hayden Jansen, and then third was Bryce Dewall. They look like brothers, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, they do. So congratulations to you guys. I've got certificates here for you. But listen to the rest of the awards that this chapter brought home, as well as some additional ones. Alpha Phi Alpha was first as a sister chapter award. Our sister chapter is Labette Community College Tau Theta. First for college project, and the college project that they were won first on is the walking path that kind of cuts across the corner of campus from the corner of Haverhill and Towanda up across the hill and onto campus. That was it's kind of a 2-year project, I guess, because of COVID. They were third as the most outstanding chapter. They were recognized as a 5-star chapter. They were recognized as a Reach Rewards chapter. They were recognized for the Channing Bear that
She's missing her
Hayden?
high heels.
Hayden is holding. They also received some regional awards. Now, our Phi Theta Kappa, our chapters are divided into regions, and so we're part of the Kansas, Nebraska region. So regionally, then, the Kansas, Nebraska region at the international level was a 5-star region. The Kansas, Nebraska region received a Hallmark Excellence Award for career readiness. This region has a distinguished regional officer team. Hayden Jansen is the president of the region. He's also the president of our chapter here. The VPs are from other chapters, right? Yeah. The Kansas, Nebraska region was also a 5-star alumni region and a 5-star alumni chapter. And Chrissy Gifford is the alumni advisor for the region. So we also want to recognize Hayden again. Besides being the regional president and the chapter president, Hayden has been chosen for the Phi Theta Kappa Regional Alumni Scholarship Award, which is pretty outstanding. But even on top of that, Phi Theta Kappa gives a transfer pathway, identifies a transfer pathway scholar for each state across the nation. And Hayden is Kansas's 2022 Phi Theta Kappa New Century Transfer Pathway Scholar. So congratulations. He and Chrissy, I think, are headed to New York City the first weekend of May, so he can receive his honor there at the AACC conference. Chrissy's one of the advisors, and then Chrissy's sister Kathy Gifford is a co-advisor. But again, amazing students, outstanding representation of Butler, and just continued success year after year after year. And it's Chrissy and Kathy and Janice and Noreen and Dr. West and folks like that that commit their time outside of class to help students achieve, things through our extracurricular activities. And so they have great leaders in our student organizations and great mentors, and it just really broadens our students' experiences and opportunities. So congratulations to all of you. Thanks for being here. Oh, it wasn't on the list. Okay.
Yeah, our big award from this past week, we were in Aurora.
Oh.
Our big award, this past week, we're in Aurora, Colorado. We were top,
Top 50.
the top 50 chapter out of over 1,200 chapters. We, the pathway is what we wrote about this time, and we received the top 50 award for that. So
Yeah, thanks. I blew right on past it, so sorry about that. And then certainly we want to also take just a minute to recognize Kathy Mccoskey. I think Kathy's on joining us by Zoom as well. Kathy's been really the initiator and probably the leader, along with a team that helped start 4 years ago the Great Plains Conference on Acceleration. It was really an effort to engage, to start off with, community colleges and colleges around Kansas to share ideas about how you can support students in their, in their learning, and especially students that maybe were coming to college that weren't quite prepared at that college readiness level. And this Great Plains Conference on Acceleration has grown. This year, the title of it, or the focus, was Focus on Student Transitions and Success. There were 110 registrants, 6 states represented: Kansas, Iowa, Missouri, Oklahoma, Illinois, and Texas. It's predominantly been a two-year representatives come, but this year there were also some 4-year and private institutions represented. And consistently, year after year, the evaluations are outstanding. Folks will write comments after the conference that it's one of the very best conferences that they go to, and they get more out of this conference than other, maybe bigger or national conferences that they go to. So Kathy, thank you for your commitment to making this happen. I know you have a great team that helps you, but I think you were really, I don't know whether it was given to you to do the first year or whether you volunteered or what, but it's become successful, and people really across the system look forward to it every year because they know it's going to be a great learning opportunity and experience to network with their colleagues. So Kathy, you have some comments that you want to share? You're welcome to, if you'd like to.
Just thank you. I appreciate all the support, the opportunity to do this at Butler. It's great to be at a place that we're able to do that. We have the support, and this was a virtual conference this time because of the COVID decision and just trying to make our best decision when we started in the fall. But in the past, it's been face-to-face, and our facility has always been fantastic for that. So we just want to lead and encourage other people to build up good programs. It's good to be at a place where we can do that. So thank you.
Thank you very much. These opportunities, again, filter down for all of the folks that participate into the classroom, and, it's supporting our students and their learning opportunities and helping them be successful. So thanks, Kathy, for your leadership, and to all of the team that help you. We really appreciate it. And then last, I want to recognize it was Linda Jolly's birthday last weekend. So. Thank you for letting me have the time to recognize folks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Very nice, very nice. Thanks,
Would
Scott.
now entertain a motion to move into executive session for purposes of discussions with counsel. This is the one that is the language is reflected on the handout.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I move that the board recess into executive session for consultation with legal counsel pursuant to the open meetings exceptions for matters protected by attorney-client privilege, to include the members of the board, Ray Cannell, President Kim Kroll, and Shelley Stoltz. The open meeting will resume here in the Dankert Trustee Boardroom within 20 minutes.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Yes.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
Trustee Brungart,
Yes.
Trustee Jolly,
Yes.
Trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
Trustee Winslow,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes. I will note the time we actually go in once we get virtual stuff taken care of. No.
Well, how's the family? Good.
Oh, no.
Chris is staying busy in retirement. He misses it. Tough transition. Being busy. Consult. Consult. Yes, I do.
It could be
Or-
many things. It doesn't have to be smoking.
So you can see the front lines, it was.
It could
Oh,
be
I
something,
think now, most of the time it isn't smokers. I
Yeah.
think it's
stuff blowing off an engine.
stuff blown off an engine or.
But there's a lot of burnt farmland.
Yeah.
Way more recognitions than. That's when I put the agenda together.
You had 20 minutes, you had 20 minutes. And we took, I think, 15.
That's.
Yeah. I mean, the executive session took us.
It's nice to do the recognition stuff. That's good news.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. We are back in open session. For the record, by the time we got moved in virtually, we started exec session at 4:57 and finished at 5:17. So moving on to public comment. Do we have anybody in the queue for public comment? No. Okay, then standing reports. Start with student government.
Well, for the month of March, SGA was able to celebrate Women's History Month. We were able to hold a student-led discussion circle for the dedicated to Women's History Month. We were also able to receive a lot of participation and good discussions. We also hosted a casino night, and like the flyer said, the students got to gamble without losing money. We also offered All-Star Adventures mini golf on Webb Road in Wichita. And lastly, we were able to get our free period products for the bathrooms project approved, and we will start a trials soon. We still have to get the containers to put them in, but we will be providing like all the hygiene products, pads, tampons, all of that. And for next semester, we have started recruiting for SGA. So we held our first info session yesterday, Monday, April 11th at 7 p.m., where students can get a full tuition when they get 3 executive positions, and coordinators get $500. And we are also having Flower Power for Earth Day. Halo is sponsoring this. You bring a reusable or a cup that you don't use anymore, and we pot a flower in there, but you could also be entered into a raffle if you bring a bag full of recyclables to our campus. And finally, we have our spring fling coming up. I'm so excited. We'll have DJs, photo booths, and refreshments. It's all here in I forgot the room. The Clifford Stone room here at 8 to 11. And we hope to see you guys there. Come party. All right.
Thank you very much.
I'm so impressed with you and how you get people involved. You do a very nice job. Thank you.
Moving on to operational staff. Lisa, here in person.
All right, next time I'm going to bring a stool because I feel like this podium is me. So we had 11 op staffers attend the annual Association of Kansas Community College Professionals Conference at Labette Community College on March 23rd through the 25th. We would like to say thank you to the board for allowing us to be a part of ACOP. Not only do we appreciate being able to attend yearly conferences, but also the opportunity to hold positions on their executive board. The connections we make with admin professionals from other colleges helps us in many ways. We're able to gather and discuss policies, processes, and challenges we're all facing. We were also able to attend multiple breakout sessions that covered topics like conflict resolution, diversity awareness, stress management and conflict negotiation, and body language awareness. Everyone who attended had a wonderful time, and it will be hard to top it next year. Butler is set to host this conference March 29th through the 31st of 2023. We have also been busy planning for our annual silent gift basket auction that will be held this Thursday during IDD. We have spent the last few weeks gathering donations, creating baskets, and prepping for what will be a great event. We're hosting a friendly competition between departments to see whose basket can raise the most money and take the reigning title from the financial aid office who won back in 2019. I had a sneak peek opportunity this afternoon, and there have been some incredible donations this far. So bring your wallets and prepare to bid. Our next operational staff meeting is on Thursday, April 21st. That's all I have.
Lisa, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you, Lisa.
Professional employees. Terry is here.
I placed before each of your chairs an announcement about this year's Master Teachers Award reception. We are very happy to finally be able to get back to showing our appreciation to the best of the best among us, our master teachers. We've had to take a 2-year break. And so we're very happy to be able to honor Robert Carlson from 2 years ago, our master teacher, Corey Tubner, last year's master teacher, and of course, Mike Swan, this year's master teacher. And I am extending the specific invitation to you to please try, if you can, to drop by on the 5th Student Union in 1041 and 42 and congratulate our master teachers from 2021 and 22. Hope you can make it. I wanted to also talk about one other thing. By now, I'm sure that you've been told that we are moving our negotiations from mutual gains bargaining process to traditional bargaining process. This was a decision made by the professional employees team, and I felt I owed you an explanation of some sort for that decision. The professional employees team felt that a good deal of trust had been lost on both sides with the process as it has unfolded over these last few years. Mutual gains bargaining relies on trust so that all individuals participating will take seriously the interests and issues of both sides and seek for a problem-solving resolution. This really didn't hit me until a while back. A colleague handed me a document. He had gone back over these last few years, and he showed me that not a single one of our issues had seen any resolution or progress. And he took the time to ask me why that was. So I had to admit that, yeah, I'm not sure why, but yeah, things seem to have gone awry. Also, we've always been told that mutual gains bargaining is a process that's supposed to keep us out of impasse, and clearly that didn't happen last year. I think I'm paraphrasing Einstein that to keep doing the same thing that doesn't work is a definition of insanity. So the PE team decided that maybe a change would help. Although we certainly look forward to returning to mutual gains bargaining at some point. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Phi Theta Kappa lunch and KACCT. Did I? Oh gosh, dang, I can't read. Yes, board finance, sorry. Still Mary Martha.
Linda Jolly, I'll defer to you.
We didn't really spend a lot of time on the report for 331. Last time, and then just briefly talked about the process of moving forward. And what the work session topics will be, cash reserves, 3-year operating budget projection, rather than to do this on a 1-year basis without taking into consideration what impacts would be. And then just look at what the budget calendar is issued. And normally, although I think this mention of the dates may be longer than this, but hopefully we'll be passing the budget maybe as late as September. Might not have to be as early as the other states that we want to. So we've got time to look through and understand. It's hard. I mean, there's a lot to that. There's a work session last week, so that's.
Thanks, Linda. Now PTK and KCCT.
Okay, let's see. Heather Morgan, who is our liaison up there at the state, would like to have a new trustee orientation that would be offered virtually on April 19th at 4:00 p.m. So we need to know if you could make it, and then we'll get you the information out. I'd also like to report that we met in person in Junction City. All colleges were in attendance except Seward, Highland, Independence, and Fort Scott. We held the annual PTK Honors Banquet. And we also recognized President John Masterson, who is retiring from Allen County Community College. He's been there 40 years as the president. Wonderful.
He hasn't
man.
been president the whole time,
But he's been there. Just a wonderful man. Heather also told us about the Promise Act trailer bill is in jeopardy due to disagreement amongst legislators about the need to include out-of-state students in the program. I can tell you a little bit about this, that President Ron Reichman in the House, he wanted to include out-of-state students because he thought that would help gain some economic reasons and help colleges. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but we don't know yet. The CTE bill is also in jeopardy due to disagreement about its inclusion because it has not had Senate hearings. And the bill related to allowing trustees to declare a political party was pulled. Thank you. And the two-year sector will receive significant additional ongoing dollars and also a significant amount of one-time dollars this year. For the first time ever, the formula will be fully funded. How this impacts our college will vary with all the other colleges. It was announced that April is Community College Month, and CRT. I keep asking about that. And I think it's gone now. They brought in a speaker from the East Coast, and he talked about what CRT has done. And it shows that, without naming any races, that it seems like they'll go for the Democratic candidate. Well, since it's a Republican-held Senate and House, they just got rid of it. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere, Shelby, but I always ask because I'm concerned about it too, but I think it's dead right now. So that is all for my report. Are there any questions, suggestions?
Yes, what you said for the 19th, what is that about? What?
New trustee orientation.
New trustee orientation.
I think all of us should do it. It's going to be virtual. It starts at 4:00 p.m.
I will be on a flight from
Did we
4:30
do that
to
last year?
5 something that day.
Not next week.
Did we
April
do any
19th.
new trustee
April.
orientation with the ACCT?
I am speaking. Okay, thank you. April 19th, 4:00 p.m. It will be virtual.
Julie asked if there was training last year. Sometimes it's been every other year that they've done it.
Maybe
And-
I should just say, have the 3 new trustees from last election had any training in?
No.
I don't know the case. He has offered it.
And then why?
Somebody sends me that link call.
Will ya?
I just said
Thanks.
to you that it's been, sometimes they do it every 2 years because the election cycle, because of, and because of COVID, I think that probably disrupted. Lots of times what they would do is do the new trustee training at the summer meeting, wherever that was held. That's sometimes when they did it, but
How
but
would
they
this
do it
differ
every other
from,
year.
how would it differ from the training we had initially? You know,
This one, oh, the orientation that we did?
Yeah.
I don't know what Heather has on the agenda necessarily, but she'll probably talk more about, maybe statutes that apply to the community colleges. She may talk more about Kansas Board of Regents regulations that we follow and, and some things like that. I can find out from her what what she's putting together as far as training.
Can you circulate that, or can someone circulate
Sure.
that to everybody?
I just think it'd be good. Heather is going to come at us at a different viewpoint than Dr. Kroll. I mean, because she works with the Senate and the House and what goes on up there.
like Shelby, I'd listen to it if you want to.
Okay.
They do different trainings and stuff that are really interesting to listen to. They did one on parliamentary procedure.
Not this one.
I mean, over the years.
Yes, yes.
They have different, it's not really a podcast, but that's how I treat it.
Well, and
Turn it on.
the ACCT ones.
Yeah, that's
the one. This is just going to
This is-
focus specifically
right,
on the
right.
community and technical colleges. or
I'm
community
subbing,
college system.
I'm subbing that afternoon, but I can,
You will be done at 4:00. You can get on.
I'll
Very
be,
good. Thank
I
you,
will
Mary
be,
Martha.
I will be at my
to
house
your
in
car.
front of my computer.
Don't sup till 5:00.
He'll turn on his radio,
Yeah.
listen to the program.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
I'll be in the man cave.
Okay. Dr. Kroll.
I put in.
Oh, I'm
front-
sorry. I jumped myself again. I'm having a hard time reading. There's no board report. Foundation board has not met. So that'll be next one.
I put at your place a New York Times article that is kind of fun. It's about culinary careers. They had contacted us for interview and engagement in this article, and so you can take that home and read that.
I saw this on Facebook or someplace.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to be contacted by the New York Times. Mary Martha had asked about some information related to Butler 2000. And so wanted to share a little bit with you about Butler 2000.
Can I just ask us, do you know anything about Butler 2000, Shelby, David, Julie, Boris, Linda, Kim?
Is
mean-
it the summer camp?
Yes, but do you know what we do for these kids?
Oh,
I mean, it is fantastic. I think you all should know about it.
Well, I'm going to tell them.
Well, are you
How
going to
about
tell
that?
how many kids have gone through it? All right.
Can we have Conan O'Brien do the Butler 2000? In the year 2000, get the flashlight.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Kroll.
Well, thank Bill Rinkenbach. Bill
Thank you,
Butler
Bill.
2000 program began 30 years ago.
Wow.
This coming summer is a partnership between the college and the 9 Butler County school districts originally. The goal of the program was to identify at-risk youth in the public school systems and create a program that would help them stay in school, develop skills and tools, and really designed to help them stay in school until they graduated from high school. And as long as the students participated in Butler 2000 and stayed in school and graduated, then they would have a scholarship for books and tuition when they came to Butler.
Is that 3 summers?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
I'm
3
getting to
summers.
that.
Oh,
getting
I'm
to
sorry.
that.
I'm just gonna turn this
It's
on.
down.
You have to talk faster. She's
It's
gonna
down
start
for
in.
just a little ways. Bill, put that on the front end. All right. The initial group of students were the ones that named the program because they were going to graduate in 2000. So that's where the Butler 2000 name came from. It's a week-long program that's funded by the school districts, and each school district pays $4,000 for their campers. When the budget crisis hit, Governor Brownback was in office at that point in time. 3 of the school districts stepped away from it. Whitewater, Remington, Rose Hill, and Andover made a decision to move away from the program. But they phased those students out. They made sure that those students could complete the program. So now we're still working with the 6 remaining school districts. They send 5 students per phase, or 15 students total. And they come to us as 6th, 7th, and 8th graders each summer. To date, 858 students have completed the Butler 2000 program and have attended all 1-week sessions for their summers during those years, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. It even continued through COVID. To date, also now upon graduation, there have been 350 high school graduates who have come to Butler and used their Butler 2000 scholarship. Just a few years ago, we had a non-traditional student come, I think actually talk to you, Bill, right? And say, you know, years ago, I was in this program, Butler 2000, and got a scholarship. Is it still, you know, it's still valid? Yes, it is. So he came back into the welding program and finished his welding certificate and is a tremendous metal sculptor and a welder. So, you know, it goes with them as long as it's there for them. Years ago, there was a student that requested the ability that was in Butler 2000 to use their Butler 2000 scholarship for their concurrent classes at the high school level. And there was some discussion about, you know, because the whole basis was really to have it available for post-graduation from high school. But the group that works with Butler 2000 felt like if this student's at risk and is pushing themselves hard enough and qualified enough to take concurrent classes and be successful, that they could use their Butler 2000 scholarship for their concurrent class. And so to date, we've had 59 Butler 2000 students use that scholarship while they're still in high school to help cover the cost of their concurrent classes. Past 30 years, there have been 4 leadership changes is all. Gary
McCatherine.
Sorry about that. Superintendent at Blue STEM was the first coordinator. He and Jack O'Hara, who was the executive VP at Butler, really kind of initiated it and spearheaded it. Pete Lawler, then, who was a counselor from Augusta, stepped in. And then after Pete, Angie Baker Smith from Blue STEM. And unfortunately, she passed away last year. And now Jazz Burdette, who's the counselor at Blue STEM Elementary, is serving as the program coordinator. So highly successful. And it's fun because every once in a while you run into a current student who will say, I was a Butler 2000 kid. I was part of that program. And I think the counselors and the teachers at the school, in the school districts, are the ones that identify those students. We don't do them, but
Yeah.
the students come selected by the school districts because they know them. So how was that, Mary Martha?
That was good. The only thing I would also add is that as teachers, we always recommended students to participate. We looked at their economic status, to parents, if parents had graduated from high school, if parents had graduated from college, if parents were employed, but we looked at all those different factors. Now they have the ACE report, which identifies 10 variables that these kids could qualify on. And usually when you have 3 identifiers, you're at risk.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great program.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Good.
We did ACES over at the alternative school that I was in.
They're required now to do it by the state of Kansas.
I wanted to let you know. So thanks for asking about that. I'm glad you asked. And thank you, Bill, for filing it.
Thank
I was
you.
going to tell you, our deputy CIO is a Butler 2000 graduate. Christina Byram is a Butler
Really?
2000 graduate. I told Bill that's my favorite Butler 2000 story.
Yeah.
She's done great things here. So it's awesome.
Wanted to let you know that Governor Kelly will be on campus on Friday evening. The one-shot turkey hunt is this week, starts on Thursday. And we've received notice that she will be here for dinner that evening for just a couple of hours. She's not hunting. It's a private invited event. And the governor's office, controls all of the, helps with the planning and all of that sort of stuff. But that office takes care of all the security detail and works with local law enforcement and our folks to, to
I'll be
provide all the
part of the
security.
group that sings the national anthem.
You are?
Yes.
Oh, cool. That's great. Dr. Neville's going to represent Butler, provide a welcome and be there with, you are, aren't you? Yeah. I have to be out of town. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be there. So I did write the governor a personal note to welcome her to campus for us. But it's a great event. This is the last year of the turkey hunt, and it's long established, probably, I don't know, more than 30 years, 31, 32 years. They missed a couple of years because of COVID, but anyway, wanted to let you know that she will be here for just a little bit Friday evening for the banquet.
Are you going to
They
hunt,
expect
Shelby?
Probably
Oh.
450 people probably here Friday
Oh,
night for the
wonderful.
banquet. So I also put I wanted to let you know, I don't know a lot of the details yet. A couple of, gosh, it's been at least a year ago. Friends University, who we partner with, who we have an agreement with in cybersecurity, Dr. Carey and her team at Friends had requested an earmark through Senator Moran's office. And there's a period of time to support that program. There was a period of time where, they just weren't even talking about earmarks and they weren't doing anything about them. But Dr. Carey received a notification within the last few weeks from Senator Moran's office that earmark is going to be approved. And I don't know if that means for us that there'll be some scholarship dollars for our students, but we have an articulation agreement with them. And so as I know more about that, I'll let you know more about what that means for our Butler students and for our partnership with Friends, but it's a great partnership. We also have had some wonderful conversations in the last month or so with Dr. Larissa Jenin, who's the Dean of the W. Frank Barton School of Business at Wichita State, and one of her department chairs, Dr. Jerry Markova, and they're initiating an opportunity. We'll do a press release soon, but initiating an opportunity to provide some significant scholarship dollars for some Butler students to enroll in one of the 10 programs at Barton School of Business at Wichita State. And so we're really looking forward to that partnership and excited about that. You also have in front of you, Dr. Guerrero, after the March board meeting, and some of the questions. You have a handout in your stack here that answers those questions that we're asking. You can look through that. And if you've got some follow-up, let me know and I'll reach back out to him. And then I also put a copy, one of the last meetings, Julie had requested a quarterly report on open records. And so you've got that document in front of you as well. And I think, and then I need to talk to you also. We need to have, when we get to our schedule and the things that are on the calendar coming up, we'll talk a little bit about commencement and nurses pinning and early college academy celebration and stuff. So
Are we
that's what I
going
have.
to, as far as the nurses pinning, are we going to have to be sitting up in the balcony again? Or are we going to be a part of the ceremony like we were the first year we were here? Because last year, I
Well,
think
nurses, the trustees always sit, the trustees don't sit with when they do nurses pinning, I mean, they put that together themselves. There's usually one trustee that does a welcome, but
weren't we sitting with
you guys sat in the bleachers.
last time? Yes, but the first time we didn't.
Well, that was
First time.
COVID.
I don't remember
Yeah.
that. I don't remember
We all
that you
three
sat
sat
on the stage.
together.
The nurses are the ones that put that together, so.
Okay, well,
I
make
can
sure we
find
get
out.
invited.
Well, you will.
That's what we're talking about later.
Yeah, they will. They'll send an invitation to you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Educational Facilities Authority, Ray Martha, Dave.
We are having a meeting tomorrow at 8 o'clock at the city building. I plan on being there. And we had a meeting, was it last month or 2 months ago? Last month, I think. And slowly talking about different things.
Yeah. We're in the process of, we've got the proposals back for beverage and vending. And so
Signage, leases.
Thank you. Moving on to our monitoring report this month. Yes, and we appreciate the written materials you gave us that we've all had a chance to review. So would love an update.
Sure, thank you. Good evening. Let me introduce my two partners in crime, Dr. Troy Nordman and John Craig, soon to be Dr. John Craig.
Yeah.
He's working on his dissertation. Two very fine associate deans. The Humanities, Social, and Behavioral Sciences Division consists of 7 departments, 38 full-time faculty members, 129 adjunct faculty, 2 administrative assistants, and 3 deans. That's 172 individuals altogether. And we teach and support the teaching of behavioral sciences, that's psychology and sociology, economics, Dr. Templin's field, English and literature with humanities, foreign languages, a whole handful of foreign languages, history and social sciences, that includes political science and geography, philosophy and religion, and finally reading. In academic year 2021, HSBS taught about 49,000 credit hours. That's about 34% of the institutional total. That's a lot. But what does that generally mean to students? Well, according to a 2020 Georgetown University study, a liberal arts education is remarkably practical, providing a median return on investment over 40 years of $1 million, median return over $1 million. It's true that this return is not immediate, but over the course of a career, it pays off. Liberal arts students learn to do their work. They're ready to answer tough questions. They appreciate multiple perspectives, and they're able to explain their ideas. Those are really important skills in this rather chaotic digital age. The ideal preparation includes education in a field linked to a career, let's say engineering, with the addition of a general education that allows a person to be flexible and draw on a wealth of knowledge. Parents, not all parents, may want their students to be philosophy and literature majors like Dr. Sater and I do. But the critical thinking and writing skills and the ability to think across disciplines, the technical classwork, and the complex experiences that students have in our courses all provide good preparation for the workforce. And they're things that employers are seeking. So I hope I've established that HSBS teaches subjects that are beneficial to students in the long term. It also provides a lot of service to the institution. Division faculty and staff lead or are deeply involved in open educational resources, the textbook affordability team, master courses, Kansas Board of Regents articulation process, AVID, the online writing lab, inclusion council, the faculty development team, personal development courses, the care team, Viso, and Provide, and much more. But I'll stop there because each of those acronyms, all those items on the list, really represents another presentation. Let's review just a few departmental highlights. First of all, I have John talk about behavioral sciences.
Good evening. I'm John Craig. Thanks for having me this evening. I office here on the El Dorado campus, but previously officed in Andover for 6 years. And as Associate Dean, I primarily work with the Behavioral Sciences Department. It's a fairly large department that supports 9 full-time faculty and approximately 30 adjunct faculty each semester. Faculty in this area teach courses in sociology and psych, with the major course offerings being in sociology, gen psych, and dev psych. But other courses include anthropology, human sexuality, contemporary social problems, substance abuse awareness, marriage and family, women and gender studies, and ab psych. These courses are taught in a variety of modalities, campus locations, and parts of term. Beyond the classroom, though, this really is an engaged and dedicated group of faculty. They work tirelessly to support our students and provide leadership in a number of ways, both at the state and institutional level. At the state level, they're involved with the KCOG committee and also with the K-Board Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Community College Roundtable. Within the college, they design and host training sessions at IDD, PDD, Second Saturday events, and also provide leadership on the IRB, the Institutional Review Board, Textbook Affordability Team, Retention Team, Diversity and Inclusion Council, Quality Assurance, and also participate in events such as Career Week, connecting students with employers. So one of the stars of the department is the Societ student organization. They host an event during finals week and midterms each semester called Pet the Puppies, where they bring in puppies with a partnership with Love on a Leash and Hands and Paws as a stress reducer. So for all the dog lovers out there. A couple of exciting things they do have on the horizon as they continue to work to support students. They're going to adopt an OER for Gen Psych. There are plans and process for that, and also offer 2 courses online that haven't been offered online before: contemporary social problems and cultural diversity and inclusion. So thank you so much for your time.
Economics is next in the alphabet. And economics, Dr. Templin's field excelled this year in the use of high flex technology and, as you know, in PBL. Thank you, Marie. Troy, English.
Thank you, Susan. And I can be brief, but I can give you some more specifics about the English department. Of that 34% in terms of the credit hours that our division teaches, about 11% of those are taught by the English faculty, our full and part-time faculty. And without being too redundant, I wanted to just highlight a few of the things within our report. OER, the Open Educational Resource, that particular quest vision that the faculty had several years ago has seen a very, very large payoff in the end here. And I do want you to really look at this because we're talking about having saved Butler students now since 2018. And thank you for allowing me to do this. I love this. $1.8 million. And that's a huge savings, which means that a lot of that money, approximately $200 to $400 per student, can go back to them and help them further with their education. We'll be launching some new OER texts, especially in EG 060, the Fundamentals of English. And we're working on redoing all the time 101, 102, and LT 201. But as John said, so many of our faculty, as well as English faculty included here, are doing so many other things. And I would be remiss if I didn't point out some names. We heard Dr. Kroll already sort of stole some of my thunder. Kathy Mccoskey, I can't tell you how hard she works to put together an extremely helpful conference with the Great Plains Conference on Acceleration. It was a movement that began probably 7-8 years ago. We picked that up. We were the first in the region to begin doing that. And it was quite successful. A lot of those schools look to Butler for what we're doing with those programs. So thank you, Kathy. Professors Andrew McCaffrey Wallace and Mindy Trineri have been involved throughout, I know probably last spring, but throughout the summer in some meetings with Topeka and at the state level with OER and some of those other initiatives. So congratulations to them. You heard last month about Professor Jim Buhorn's sabbatical and his concentration on English development. Please take a look at some of the biographical updates that our faculty provided, not just the English department, but every one of the division because they're really doing great things. Many doing some excellent presentations and many being published. It's not a lot of not a lot of attention that we give to those people, but they love doing what they do, and those rewards are there for them. So thank you.
Thanks, Troy. Just a couple more updates. Foreign language sponsored a Day of the Dead event on campus that was quite popular. Tim Myers, Dr. Tim Myers, the chair of the History and Social Sciences Department, served as VP of the Kansas Oil Museum this year. He'll be president next year. And Orion Yosley, he was named after a constellation, is working on his dissertation in political science. Speaking of dissertations in philosophy and religion, Brooks Morton will soon defend his dissertation in theology, and Angela Sager earned her PhD in philosophy late last spring. So the level of scholarship in the division is relatively high. And lastly, I want to turn to our energetic new assistants, Zach Kennedy and Amy Bruno, who have already undergone extensive training and have jumped wholeheartedly into the life of the institution, working on many projects. I'm excited about their presence here at Butler. And finally, the last word, a shout out to that English department for saving students 1.8 million. Watch that savings climb in the future. Many more departments are joining the OER movement. Do you have questions? Yeah.
I've got some kids doing online and their textbooks are online. They have difficulty when it comes time to take a test or to look back to where they read something previously. Is there an option to buy a physical book as well?
Yes, there is, depending on the online program. If it's a publisher's subscription through Cengage or McGraw-Hill, there's usually an optional print copy available for about $10 to $25.
Homework time, it's like, hey Dad, what's this or that? I'm like, it's in your lesson. Have you read it? Oh yeah, I read it. Where is it? So yeah, it'd be much more helpful if they could highlight something.
Reading the book is so important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other questions? Thank you
I
so
have-
much. Go ahead.
Just a second about the other thing, when you're using online textbooks, those are loaded right into their Canvas course shells. Talk just a little bit about the concern, because some students were going to buy it because of cost. So they didn't have a textbook, or they were sharing it or whatever. One of the other benefits of an OER is that they're loaded into their. Canvas
That's
course
right.
shells, so they have
Every
it, right?
student has access to the text on the first day. And we have figured out that we can charge students $10 for their OER and have them ready for their use. And then optional print copies are available of those homegrown editions as well. You're welcome.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
And we will, like, we'll set up some other opportunities so that you can hear more about Avid and Aviso and Provide and some of those other things, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, moving on to board strategic discussion items. We just have one, and that's the partnership with the Correctional Facility and Dr. Butler.
All right, yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Just kind of get everyone a little bit up to speed about some of the things that have happened and maybe some things that we are looking at exploring opportunities out of the correctional facility. So as you may or may not know, some of the new folks, so we've long served as a catalyst to serve alternative populations that would benefit from our high quality programming here at Butler. So our partnership with the El Dorado Correctional Facility to provide is an opportunity for us to expand and grow our high wage and high demand occupations for our students out there. So we've really formed a strong relationship with the leadership of Kansas Department of Corrections, and several initiatives have transpired over the years as a result of that. So the formation of the Kansas Consortium for Correctional Higher Education has come out of that. And this is a collaborative organization of institutions of higher ed, KDOC, and the Kansas Board of Regents to offer post-secondary credit programs in Kansas correctional facilities. So Butler is a point of contact, has been the chair of this, Butler's point of contact, which is Michelle Reuter. She's on the line too. So if we have any questions at the end, we can bring her in. So she's been the chair of this committee for the past 3 years. This has provided programming at the correctional facility from adult education to associate degrees. And this has also been a little bit slow for us because students are self-pay students out of the facility. And also with COVID coming in, lack of staffing at the facilities kind of slowed some of our progress out there in scaling some of our opportunities. So recently we've kind of been looking at opportunities to grow programs and increase awareness and also opportunities for students at the facility. So most recently, you're aware, because we've reported this not too long ago, that we are awarded a large contract from the Department of Corrections for 3 years with an eligibility to renew funding for up to 8 years. This increased adult education, GED, English as a second language, as well as provided a new non-credit Masonry program, which is really an awesome program. Got to go see some of the photos of the work that the students have done out there. It's really, really impressive what those students are able to do. This was the largest contract awarded in Kansas from KDOC. So this is a big deal for us. And of course, for the students out there. So most recent, we've applied for the Second Chance Pell Experimental Sites Initiative. This would, we're gonna know this month if we've been awarded this opportunity, which will give students out there access to Pell funding earlier than when it's going to be open to all incarcerated students in 2023. So we potentially have an opportunity to scale this a year ahead of the rest of the country. So this is cross our fingers, we're going to have an opportunity. So typically the correctional facility houses about 1,700 residents, and this would provide an alternative population to increase student success and provide additional credit hours to the college. So this is an opportunity for us to grow our enrollment. Butler has increased its presence there with our new AAS degree, which is being taught out there. So those in non-credit Masonry 9-month program, once they've completed that award, they get their OSHA 10 certification. This is our NCCER, which we talked about last time, core Masonry course within the construction technology program. Because of this programming and lack of space, we've kind of had an increase in interest out there. So the facility has given us 17,000 square feet of space. This is huge, and it will be home to our Masonry program, which we've already started, our construction technology program, and our apprenticeship program. Plus, there's opportunity for us to grow. 17,000 square feet is a lot of space. So some of the things that we're working on, and this is really a spotlight for Michelle, who's on here as well, is the opportunity to partner with one of our apprenticeship partners, which is our UA 441 local area plumber and pipe fitters, to actually start a program out at the facility in partnership with them. This would be the first of its kind in Kansas, and it will be really kind of the flagship for setting the standards and benchmark for excellence for apprenticeship programs and correctional. So this is something that is, we feel when we bring this to scale, is going to be a huge game changer for our students. It's a 5-year program. It's 8,500 hours. It's a combination of classroom and on-the-job training. Butler and UA 441 will work together to put 4-credit program, which is a 2.5-year program, plus the hours to be obtained. They will work at the facility under the maintenance division. Once they are released, they will continue to be part of the UA 441 for the next 2.5 years to complete their remaining OJT hours and get their journeyman's card. So this is, these are high wage, high skilled jobs that are in demand. Also, we're looking at the opportunity to complete their AAS and workforce development, which bridges to Pitt State, also where they can complete their Bachelor of Science in Workforce Development. So this is, again, a pathway for students to continue on their educational journey. So we have also met with the Kansas Department of Commerce Apprenticeship and Internship Director. She's identified some ways for us to also expand our apprenticeships, not only at the correctional facility, but for the college as well, by becoming an intermediary for apprenticeships. So we're looking at that process and hopefully bringing that forward here soon as well. What this does is also increase our presence within the business community. And again, another opportunity for us to increase credit hours and alternative revenue streams for the college. So we're gaining recognition nationally for this apprenticeship process. Michelle just presented at the National Correctional Education Association Conference in California. And she addressed the development of state consortium, apprenticeships with corrections, and partnering with collaborative and constituents such as KDOC and KBOR. So I think we're getting some really good attention in a positive way about these opportunities for students. And this is a great opportunity for students that benefit from our partnership, ensures that they have a successful reentry for a high wage demand occupation, provides an alternative skilled labor pool for these industries that are looking for talent. And these are really proven ways for our students that are leaving and reentering after their time there to decrease reentry. So this is a great opportunity for our students in our community. So I just wanted to kind of get everyone up to speed about what we're doing out there and some of the opportunities.
I'd like to suggest that we as the trustees go out there and observe when this is up and running.
I think you're going to see some amazing,
I think so
amazing
too.
and inspiring moments for sure.
I love going out there and seeing what's new anyway, so.
Did you want to stay out there? You don't want to stay out there. You just want
Well, it depends. I'd have to look at their mattress situation.
make sure they all have food every day.
Can I have water anytime?
Yep, thank you, Tom.
I had
Thanks,
some
Michelle.
questions.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I mean, does nobody else have any questions about this? Because we're discussing it. So when you come back, you will have the type of courses we will be teaching, right? You will have the number of students that are anticipated for each of the different areas of instruction, like masonry and so forth, right?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
The courses have already been approved in that program. You guys approved those programs.
Right. Are you going to, okay, when you come back and we approve it, all that will be included again with the packet, right? So we can look at it and refresh once more.
Well, we've already approved. We've already
I
been teaching.
understand that. I understand that. I just am looking for anything you might have added or, because I know this has to go.
Pipe fitters thing is.
Yeah, that's
That's
new. We
information.
that hasn't actually launched yet.
So that in the future will be
That's-
presented. I think that's what you're asking.
Well, no, the workforce, we've been approved for that workforce AAS.
Yes, but the actual that apprenticeship program, Michelle, you can probably elaborate as well. But yeah, we haven't actually articulated that apprenticeship program yet. So
And
there,
like
Michelle's
maybe
on.
how many people were going to get the help in that 3-year contract?
Yeah, Michelle, could you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, Julie, on the number that you're looking for on the apprenticeship program, we already have a partnership with the plumber and pipe fitters with the Associate of Applied Science and Workforce Development that bridges to our Pitt State. So for 86 credit hours, they get an associate and the bachelor's degree. As far as the other portion of it right now with this new type of partnership with the apprenticeship, what we're going to be doing is what we are working on right now is the curriculum that they use. For the 5-year apprenticeship program, they alternate at their apprenticeship program downtown on First Street between classroom time and OJT on the job training. We're going to redo the scheduling, so to speak. We're going to complete all of the classroom time at the prison, because if they get out of prison and then they're doing the classroom time, they have to be on unemployment. So we want to do all of the curriculum, the 2.5 years of the classroom curriculum in while they're inside and while they're a resident. We're working on what their curriculum correlates to classes that we already have that are approved credit classes. So they have math. We want to give them technical math. We want to line up and co-line as much of the curriculum as we can that they have that already articulates to credit that we currently have approved from, KBOR at there. They'll also be they have to complete 1,700 hours of OJT time with the facilities maintenance as approved by activities by the Department of Labor. So we are co-aligning that right now. John Clark is the head of the plumber and pipe fitters. He's working right now with the facilities to understand what those checklists and what those job duties will be. Once they're out, they'll finish up. They'll just have all OJT time when they get out, the remaining of the time. And that's a paid apprenticeship. So they're being paid, and then they'll slide right on into the jobs that they're working for. So we will be putting a vetting process together. So not everybody, unfortunately, will be able to go into this program, because they do have contracts that they work for governments and schools and things like that. We have to be mindful that some of these students won't be eligible to get into this program. So it's a joint vetting process between the plumber and pipe fitters, Department of Labor, and Butler. Does that kind of help?
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering, the 3-year contract that we have, about how many are you thinking that we might be able to help with this program?
We already have a waiting list out there right now with Masonry. The problem right now, and I don't know, I mean, right now is that even with our self-pay students, and we haven't even enacted the second chance Pell or the Pell, we have a waiting list for Masonry, and we're grooming these Masonry people to go into the construction technology program, and all of these intertwine so they can do Masonry, construction technology, and the apprenticeship. So there's a lot of correlation, so they can choose a pathway between the 3 that makes them successful. I can't give you a number. I mean, I don't know. We have 1,700 people. Obviously not all of them would qualify, but certainly going from about 50 to 70 that are staying with us for self-pay. And when you launch the Pell, of which who would qualify, many of them would, the numbers out there could be staggering. So it's an exciting time, honestly, for an alternative, we're numbers where we, the credit hours and, things like that. I think it's going to really be a bright spot to have this.
And I know some of the legislators have talked to me about programs like this. I'm just wondering, is there another college that has done this somewhere that I can relate to? Or is this so innovative that
when I was in Long Beach, we are actually further ahead. I spoke to the states of Missouri, Arizona, Louisiana, and I talked to a couple others that are working with the states of Texas and Florida. Louisiana is already starting an apprenticeship, but they're way behind us right now, because their apprenticeship that they're partnering with hasn't gone through what we've already gone through with our partner, with already establishing this degree, and kind of John's really good at for credit stuff. So we are actually light years ahead of them. So we are very innovative. It's really kind of the first of its kind to go into a prison. That's the uniqueness of it.
That's a lot of square feet that they're handing over. That's great.
But we are in a lot of different prisons in Kansas.
The nice thing about this is, since we've been chosen, John Clark and I put this together, and then we went to the Kansas Department of Corrections, and so piloting it here. But once this takes off here and we become the benchmark for, the things as we're piloting this, the nice thing about the plumber and pipe fitters, why they're a unique fit for us too, is they have contracts. They're eligible to go all over the state of Kansas, with the exception, I think there's 5 counties near Kansas City that they can't participate in. They're not, whatever region or eligibility or whatever. So they can actually recreate this type of apprenticeship across the state once we pave the way for that.
appreciate it.
Michelle, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Thanks.
Moving on to board action items. Bill, can you tell us about the responder radios?
Yes, our Department of Public Safety relies on radios to communicate with both the county and the city of El Dorado PDs as well as Andover. They use Motorola radios. The last set of radios we purchased was in 2012. That's when the county updated their emergency communications program. That's happening again this year. And in order for our radios to communicate with Butler County Emergency Management, which is essential for our police department to be able to do, we need to replace our radios. So that's what this is all about. Bill Young helped us with the bids to make sure that we got the most affordable price on the radios that we could get, but they're essential for our department to be able to communicate.
We usually, when I was on the fire board, Rose Hill, usually when they updated, they would get everybody.
I
They
talked
use
to,
these radios involved in the initial purchase so that you could get a really good deal. You know what I'm saying? Like all the different departments that were going to be using them. So did they not include you? So that we could buy it.
You want to
cheaper?
speak
You know
to
what I'm
that?
talking about?
So Motorola, you're absolutely right. Motorola works with the state now. It's a little bit different. Motorola creates state contracts. So based on the 900 or the new 900 megahertz system that we implemented 10 years ago, this is just state pricing at this point. We're getting the exact same pricing Butler County gets, City
Okay,
of El
good.
Dorado
Okay,
gets,
good, good.
Andover. You'll notice in the quote.
Because those are so cheap, you know.
Yeah. You'll notice, yeah, you'll notice in the quotes or bids, it's referencing, I think it might be referencing a Johnson County, but that's just the state kind of designator for the state contract where they awarded it through. So, but where it's the same price that the county has, El Dorado and over Augusta, or so when they do their.
I was talking to Justin Boland and he said everybody is doing this
That's right.
because of and they also include GPS in the radio.
Right.
So anyway.
Do you need 12?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that how many safety officers?
No, we have fewer than that, but you need to have backups just in case. So
How many safety officers slash?
we have
fire?
nine full-time excuse me. We have 8 full-time officers and a part-time officer.
With
One, our director of residence life carries a radio as well.
This gives us 2 spares. One for the Andover.
Thank you.
Then I move that we approve the purchase of the Motorola radio communications equipment for use by Butler CC Police Department.
Julie, did I hear a second?
I seconded when he was still reading because he just didn't read fast.
Any further discussion?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, that passes 7-0. Next topic for action is the Masonry and Concrete Technology Certificate, and I think that's back to Dr. Mel.
Okay, yeah, so last December, you approved our Masonry and Concrete AAS program and a 36-hour Cert B certificate. So we're looking at adding a level 1 or Cert A certificate as well, which would be a 27-hour certificate, which of course stacks into 36 and stacks into the associate's degree.
I move we approve the new 27 credit hour certificate program for the Masonry and Concrete Technology Certificate.
We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes. Okay, that also passes 7-0.
Thank you.
I'm moving on to the proposed contract with Motomatic, and that's Dr. Owen.
Good evening. Motomatic is a third-party vendor that uses a digital marketing platform, so social media, in order to reach students and prospective students. And in the fall, we entered into a small campaign to reach out to prospective students. And they used the guideposts to reach out to those students. So from September to December, we had 83 students enroll as a result of the campaign. They enrolled in approximately 600 credit hours that equated to nearly $79,000 in revenue. So it's a great return for our investment, and we can directly correlate that to this campaign. So are there any questions?
And what's the cost?
We pay per student that is recruited through this campaign. So
Oh,
it's-
$225 per student?
It depends on the campaign. We have
Okay.
two that we're working on. One of them is $200 a student and one is $225.
Great.
And, oh, go ahead,
And
Jessica.
we only pay for the students that we retain through the census state.
Only pay for?
The students we retain through the census state.
Perfect.
What's the census date? I didn't see it in there.
The census date is what we call 20th day. So it's going to vary depending upon the semester. But so for example, in the spring, it was in February.
And we get the list and provide it to them and they push marketing on.
Yes, we reconcile. Mhm.
Any other questions? I have one quick question. Have we ever used, I think ACT as a list? That they'll
Yes.
generate to you for all high schoolers that take ACT? We use
Yes.
that one?
Yes, we do. We do.
These are students, typically this campaign is focused on students that have expressed interest. Maybe they've applied, maybe they've gone partway through the process, but they just haven't finished it. They haven't applied, they haven't enrolled, they haven't enrolled, they haven't gotten engaged in classes. And so this is specifically targeting students that we know have expressed some interest somehow in the past. And so it's not just a blanket sweep of all kinds of students. There's some intentionality in the ones that Motomatic will focus on for us.
So this, if I understand this right, the way it works is that when the interest is expressed, then Motomatic somehow knows all this. And when they enroll, is that when we have a cause to pay them for 225, or is it 3 months later, or how's that work?
Well, so we provide them with a population that we want to target. And then they do that. And then we reconcile the lists every week or so. And then we pay them a final payment at the census date. So after those students are
After
in
the
class.
20th day.
After the 20th day.
And this budget comes out of marketing?
No. We are going to be using our transcript fee revenue for this.
And I assume these students are ones we've already targeted, sent postcards, and they're just doing an additional.
Correct. These are going to be those students that are prospective students that are difficult to reach, the challenging ones, yes.
So what's our maximum amount that we could pay? I guess I'm interested in knowing that. What's the most amount we could pay for what, annual? Is that?
It would be based on the campaign. So we only pay for the students that we actually enroll. So we don't have a maximum number because really any student, for instance, if we spend $200, our revenue that we generate is going to be much higher than that.
It was successful in the fall. The students that they recruited in the fall to come back to Butler enrolled in, what did you say, 600 credit hours, right?
Yeah, the 83 that I'm talking about, approximately 600 credit hours, yes.
And you pay for the students once only.
Right.
Correct.
You don't get a.
Those 83 students, what do you pay, $16,000,
Mhm.
about 16 or $16,500 collectively for those 83 students together, $200 a student. But the return, the 600 credit hours that they enrolled in generated
$79,000 credit hours, or
$79,000
revenue.
So you
Mhm.
have a significant return on your investment with these students.
Would entertain a motion to approve this agreement.
I move that we ratify the attached contract and agreement and approve the payment per student of the conversation of the campaign.
You have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes. Also passes 7-0. Jessica.
Thank you.
Would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. The consent agenda be approved.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, that also passes 7-0. Dr. Kroll, supplemental information.
That starts in your board book on page 62. I think Esom wants to provide just a little bit of an update on the performance indicators, couldn't think of the right word, performance indicators that he provided this month.
Couple of things. One is that this is, as you know, you get one of these updates every other month. This is the last time for this academic year. Come back in September, we'll start it all over again. One of the things you may have noticed was the placement rate dropped a little bit from 76 to 68. And so I went looking for it too. I wanted to share with you kind of the explanation for it.
Where are you? I'm
On
sorry.
page 62.
And
On the darkened line.
Dark line.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's why I couldn't see it.
It goes from 76 to 68. and
Sure.
As
Okay.
we looked at it, a couple of things to keep in mind on that. About 40% of the population that we follow, and it's a list given by the Kansas Board of Regents, is nursing students. Very conscientious folks. They're very good at responding. They did. What we found out was in the past, we have had, about 15% of them opt for the choice that I'm doing further education, additional rotations, externships, and those kind of things. For 2021, which was a special year, especially for nurses, that number went up to about 30%. Doesn't mean they didn't have jobs, because there was an option for saying, well, I don't have a job or unemployed. Nurses were not unemployed, but quite a few of them opted for the choice of additional education, externship, rotation, and they have to choose one or the other. So keep that in mind. It was a very special year for folks in that field, and that's why the dip is quite a bit significant. We are expecting that in 2022, when the numbers are done, we'll probably get back to the mid-70s. There is an additional thing I wanted to point out. Trustee Winslow had asked me last time about fire service, their placements, where they are. So I did look that up. About 85% of them are in Kansas.
Good.
And of that, about 76 or 77 in these two counties, Sedgwick and Butler. So I
Good,
promised I'll get you that.
That's a little bit different than what Julio had sent me that's on your list. I think he said 83% maybe were in the two counties, right?
Yeah, it is 85 for the whole state.
Okay, thank you. So some other KPIs that follow that. If we look at the activity calendar that starts on page 70, or well, I guess it starts before that, but turn to 73, your board book. Gosh, there's a number of things that happen, in the next month, next few weeks before commencement. Lots of athletic events still, ball games to be played and home and away. But please note, theater production number 4, The Runner Stumbles, on April 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. If you haven't taken in a theater performance this year, you just need to. I mean, they're outstanding. Instrumental music concert is on the 29th and 30th. the smaller chamber concerts that they do at the end of the semester are May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The student art sale is on May 5th and 6th, but that student art show, they were setting up for it yesterday. And so it opens, I'd have to look and see for sure when it opens. But it outs, well, you know, do you have anybody
I'm not
displaying
sure
anything
they're-
this
They
year?
haven't told me if they're gonna have anything. I imagine
Okay.
they're gonna have some pottery or
Yeah,
ceramic.
it's amazing. So I
Some of the
will,
prices last year were a little too cheap and I had to buy some other student stuff.
yeah,
Not
so
making
try and
enough
take
money.
in the student art sale, but I mean, even if you can't get there for the sale, the gallery's open in the afternoons and we have some phenomenal students. And in fact, had a conversation with Valerie Herring, who's our department chair, just the other day. And she said that Butler's art program is really identified as the leader across the state, even among the 2-year, the 4-year institutions, that if students are coming through the Butler Art Studio programs, when they get to, you know, a 4-year level, they're very talented and very respected for their skills. So take that in. And then the vocal music concert, May 7th is in the amphitheater, is at the amphitheater in Andover. It's outside. They did that for the first time last year because of COVID, and it was really, really fun.
It's a
And
nice
so
theater.
take it
Very
in
nice.
and plan on it.
Can we let you know what tickets?
Please let
we
me
got?
know what tickets you
Thank
want.
you.
And for all of the, not quite as much for instrumental music, but certainly for theater and for vocal music, if you want tickets to those, you need to let me know
I'll write you
days
an
in
email, but I
advance.
think on,
Days in advance because they sell out. I might be able to finagle a few behind the scenes, but you know, I want to be able to respect the sale of their tickets and you know, and especially the end productions. You know, parents are coming for those, and it's the final production for lots of the 2nd-year students, and so
well, that vocal
they
music,
sell out.
that vocal music production
Yeah.
right before spring break was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Spring semester ends May 13th. I didn't pay close enough attention to this. I should have added to this. Commencement is May 13th at the stadium, 7 p.m. We'll send details to you. We'll gather at 6:30 like we did last year and be outside. But I'll send those details to you. Nurses pinning is the night before on the 12th. And I think it's 7 p.m., but I don't have that time for sure. The honors ceremony will be the afternoon of May 13th as well, where we recognize our Order of the Purple and Order of the Gold scholars and identify some scholarship recipients that afternoon. So I'll send all of those details to you. Early College Academy celebration for our high school students is May 7th at 10 a.m. in the Clifford Stone Room. So I'll send that information to you as well. We will need, we're still putting together programs and things like that. And so I'll need some volunteers to do some welcomes here and there. So I'll get a hold of, I'll send an email and give you the dates so you can look at your calendars and the times and stuff and see your availability. But please, commencement is the most important one. I mean, it's the one that you're most engaged with because you take turns shaking students' hands and congratulating them and stuff. And so it's a nice evening. We typically have, 500, 550 students that walk, but it's a fast-paced program.
It was great fun. Those kids are so happy to shake your hand.
Yeah.
I mean, you just smile the whole time.
Starts at 7, and I think we were done last year we were done before 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not a 3-hour deal by any means. So I'll get that information to you.
Before we move on to that next subject, which is going to be an executive session, I have a question. So when you're done, when it's appropriate
Any
time.
questions about the calendar at all? Anything? Okay, I'll send out the information to you.
Is this a good time to ask questions about the calendar?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that's what it was about.
Yeah,
Help yourself.
when there are any open houses anywhere that we are having, I would really like an invitation. And I had an occasion to observe that on the 30th, we had an open house in my hometown at the college for the new wing of the construction program. And I don't believe any of the board members were invited, and the board members for the school district were not invited. Now, I understand that basically this was for new students. However, I did find several students in the high school that had no idea that there was an open house. So I don't know who planned all this, but I don't want that to ever happen again to any of the trustees or the neighboring school district that might have been.
I think the department planned it. It had gotten changed because of weather. I
Yeah,
think.
it was the
an
early college
alternate date,
academy
But
in partnership with the STEM division.
yeah,
So it was canceled due to snow.
yeah.
And
got
then rescheduled. We do a series of open houses for the early college academy. We do one.
That's great. Can we get on the list?
Sure. They are recruitment events, so we haven't added them to the calendar. We certainly can, but they are for
Yeah, that'd
parents
be
and
great.
students to get
I know
information about the
Shelby would have
program.
liked to.
I would like to check out the construction. Mary told me about it like the day after. You know, there's an open house.
No.
No. But no big deal. At least for like construction and stuff.
We'll try and we'll try and make sure that, you know, when they plan those things in the department, that people know about them.
Yeah, and the school, also the cooperating school needs to make sure that that gets out.
Well, that would be their responsibility to let their board
Right,
members
but-
know. you
right,
know, Not
but-
necessarily ours. because
No,
we
I,
don't have
I
that.
understand that, but there has to be, I guess they have to be encouraged to let all the high schoolers know, because there were several of them that
Well, and
expressed interest.
sometimes in school district schools, they still have visitor restrictions. I mean, Wichita Public Schools, no visitors are there. Not unless you have a stated reason.
I don't think this would have been a problem.
But
All I can say is apologies. We will let our folks know that if they're planning an open house, to please get that information. I mean, again, you know, some of this stuff would flow through an executive assistant out of my office.
Correct.
And, you know, sometimes I don't, you know, I don't keep track of those things just because I don't know about them. But this was a rescheduled event, and we'll, you know, we'll let down through the different departments folks know that, you know, please make sure we know all of those things that are going on so I can let you guys know. I'll do my best. That's all I can say.
I was gonna ask, what's Butler's Twitter? Because I was trying to find Twitter and all I could get was like Butler football, Butler ball. I can't find
Butler CC.
just Butler CC. That's it, just at Butler CC.
Do you have a
I'll
Twitter
sign up
account?
for that.
Do I?
No. Shelby, do
Twitter?
you have a
Oh.
Twitter
Let's
account?
entertain a motion to move into executive session. The language for that motion is on page 74.
Mr. Chair, I move that the board recess into executive session to discuss negotiations pursuant to the open meetings exception for matters related to employer-employee negotiations, and that the members of the board, President Kim Kroll, Bill Rickenbaugh, Dr. Phil Sperry, Shelley Stoltz, Dr. Tom Neville, and Kent Williams be included. The open meeting will resume here in the Dankert Trustee Boardroom within 30 minutes.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Louder?
Mary Martha through Linda's microphone.
Trustee Good.
Yes.
Trustee Brungart. Trustee Jolly. Trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Winslow.
Yes.
Trustee Shearer.
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
7:00, we will move into executive session. When we come out, I'll note the exact times in and out as.
I guess
before.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have that too.
Yeah, you want to take a quick break? Let's take time to do it.
There.
Keep list, let some things for you.
Oh, cool.
See it?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 17, 717.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yep, I
I'll make a
will.
motion
We
to,
are, we are back in open session. For clarity and the record, we went in at 6:47 and we came out at 7:17. And with that, would entertain a motion to adjourn.
motion,
So moved. Do we have a second?
I will second it.
too late. Somebody else did it.
5%.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Now.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. And